just 2 months to go in his administration, tonight President Biden has reversed long-standing limits on Ukraine's use of American weapons systems, something that could be a game changer in the war with Russia. The president is now allowing the Ukrainians to fire on targets inside of Russia, something President Zelensky has repeatedly lobbied for. The weapons have a range of nearly 200 miles. The U.S. had feared lifting the restrictions would lead to an escalation by Moscow. It could be used in the Kursk region of western Russia to help defend Ukrainian forces there. Overnight, Russia launched one of its fiercest attacks on Ukrainian infrastructure. More than 200 missiles and drones fired throughout the country. Officials say a number of civilians were killed. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell leads us off tonight from Ukraine.
Tonight, for the first time, President Joe Biden authorizing Ukraine to use long-range U.S. missiles to strike Russia. A stunning change in policy, a major factor in the decision U.S. officials say 10,000 North Korean troops arriving in Russia to fight alongside the Russians. Many expected to be part of a planned offensive to take back the Kursk region. Late today, President Zelensky saying the missiles will speak for themselves without a doubt.
Slava Ukraini.
Overnight, Russia unleashing its third largest attack against Ukraine this year, more than 200 missiles and drones, targeting power plants and energy infrastructure nationwide, killing at least 7 civilians, authorities say. This missile fragment carefully extracted after smashing through this apartment building. Residents in Kyiv fleeing to metro stations as city's power grid was forced to shut down as temperatures start to plummet. In Odessa, where the water was shut down, this woman saying her family has run out of its emergency supply. She's back for more. She'll carry home by hand.
Lindsay, I think for the Russians, they're going to regard this as a major escalation. But the reality is they're going to have to wait for the next administration, the Trump administration, and see actually where policy truly lies. Lindsay?
There is concern these long-range missiles will only escalate the conflict there. Ian, thank you. Let's bring in retired Marine Colonel and ABC News contributor Steve Ganyard. And Steve, we know this is significant, but what message do you think the administration is trying to send here?
I think, Lindsay, that the administration realizes that incoming President Trump is going to try to quickly bring Russia and Ukraine to the negotiating table. So what's important here, and what Ian pointed out, is that Kursk is Russia. And if the Ukrainians have to come to the bargaining table, they need a bargaining chip. And Kursk is going to be that bargaining chip. And so the administration is trying to help Ukraine hold that territory so they have something at the bargaining table.
Steve Ganyard for us. Thank you.
First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, Wallace's truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson to spare in the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is, Woe to thee that spoilest. So I like to say, Shalom to all our listeners. Hope this helped you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, have a quick news article here by APR, Associated Press. And it reads that Biden authorized Ukraine to use U.S. supply longer range missile for deeper strikes inside of Russia. Let's get a little bit more. It says here, President Joe Biden has authorized Ukraine to use U.S. supplied missiles to strike deeper inside Russia, so erasing limitations on the longer range weapons as Russia deploys thousands of North Korean troops to reinforce its war, according to the U.S. official and three other people familiar with the matter. It said the decision allowing Kyiv to use the Army Tactical Missile System, or ATACMs, for attack, said further inside Russia, comes as President Vladimir Putin positioned North Korean troops along Ukraine's northern border to try to reclaim hundreds of miles of territory seized by Ukrainian force. Said Biden moves also follows the presidential election victory of Donald Trump, who has said he would bring about a swift end to the war and raise uncertainties about whether his administration would continue the United States vital military support for Ukraine. So we see it right here that America is constantly poking the bear. And also we know about these distractions, like with this fight with Mike Tyson, about this UFO and UAP hearing, and also, this the election, Donald Trump has not even gotten into office. All these things going bite all of a sudden. Now he's has authorized them to use these longer range missiles to hit further into Russia territory. So we already know that this is a declaration of war. So this is exactly what they want. They want to bring forth a war. So could be a possibility that Trump won't ever get into office, because right now things are constantly picking up. The devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Let's read this once again. It said Biden authorized Ukraine to use U.S. supplied longer range missiles for deeper strikes inside of Russia. So we see it right now. And also they said that France and I think was Germany and all of them, they're going to all be in collaboration, these NATO nations. But we already know that, man, this right here, this could make everything escalate. This could bring forth this this thermonuclear exchange, right here. God, we already know that Putin is going to not be playing around. We know that Americans going to F around and find the hell out very soon. Constantly poking the bear, constantly constantly want to have that dominance over the world. But we already know that these heathens right now, they're not afraid of these other nations, not afraid of America anymore. So right now, everything is in position. We're seeing that the Lord is constantly gathering the nation. We're seeing that these things are lining up. They are preparing for war. So you can wake up in the morning and all hell could break loose. Troops on the ground. You know what I'm saying? All sorts of military equipment everywhere you look. So we're coming upon this time. Jacob's trouble is at the door. So we already know that they get ready to bring forth that grain of rice. And also we know what's going on in Tennessee and other different in North Carolina. About North Carolina, all this mass death up there. After that storm, hurricane. It's still finding bodies. They seeing that a lot of people they cannot find because they're all covered up over all that debris up there. So a lot of things are happening here right in our backyard. And also we knowing about that Biden saying that he was going to try to end the war. When they say peace and safety, or peace and security, then total destruction will come upon us. So we read at the time, World War III, the war that will end all wars. So we know that we're very close. Now let's go here. So, America is constantly getting ready to F around and find out. Let's go here and let's go to Ezekiel first. The Lord has set up watchmen. That's why we're constantly warning. Even though, as close as we get, the rougher it get. We're seeing that the vibration is changing, that demonic activity throughout the world. We're seeing it, right before. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 3. Ezekiel chapter 3, let's start here. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17 says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So that's what we constantly doing, warning you, before the Lord bring forth his last and final destruction, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. And a lot of people still are being distracted by these, talking about this Mike Tyson fight, and also getting ready for these, wicked pagan holiday, Thanksgiving, also this ex-Christmas that's coming up after that, if we make it. So we already know this could be the possible dog winning. We constantly warning you about war, warning you about pestilence, warning you about a time of trouble that we have never seen before, all sorts of plagues and great tribulation, persecution, great death and destruction. So let's read the NLT. It says, Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 7 says, Son of man, I have appointed you as a watchman for Israel. So whenever you receive a message from me, warn people immediately. That's exactly what we're doing. The Lord said, keep not silent. Warn them from me. And one thing about, we know that we're sounding like a broken record. Seem like every day we're sounding, it's just like beating a dead horse. But one thing about it, we don't give a damn. The Lord is getting ready to bring forth the famine of the word. And one thing about it, when the Lord bring it, once again, there will be no more talk. That's why you got to get it while it's hot. It's high time to prophesy. And also our salvation is at the door. This man is moving it with warp speed. We're seeing what Biden is doing. And also it's even rumors that he's in Brazil. So we're gonna measure the time diligently. A lot of people are fleeing out of America. It already said something about Obama and his wife, he or she said that they had left the country. So a lot of people are going to be trying to flee. They're going to be like a changed road when you go to Isaiah chapter 13. So a lot of these things are getting ready to come. So Lord has set up watchmen, the men of the Lord, the ones making a video of pistols out in the highways and byways, constantly warning you left and right, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. And one thing about it, we are here. Things about to get ready to escalate. Things are getting ready to boil over. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly sighing and crying. The Lord said, keep not silent. Warn them from me immediately. That's exactly what we're doing. We're standing on that watch and we're standing on fire for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So now let's go here to Isaiah chapter 33. Let's get this right here. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1 said, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. So when thou shalt cease to spoil, said thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. That's exactly what's getting ready to happen to America, because they have dealt very treacherously with these nations. It's constantly robbing and stealing, going to other people, countries, setting up all sorts of puppets, leaders, also spreading forth this abomination, democracy all through the world, their philosophy, their influence. And one thing about it, the nations are angry. And one thing about it, they're getting ready to be spoiled, because they was, constantly said, woe to thee that spoilest. They constantly robbing, stealing, and killing, shedding blood. Death and hell follow this man everywhere he go. So we know that we're here. Let's go ahead and woe also goes into destruction. Let's read in the NLT. It said, what sorrows await you Assyrians? Who are the modern day Assyrians? Esau, Edom. So, they call themselves Americans, or the Babylon, the modern day Babylonian. Hey, we're here, man. Esau, Edom, man. Hey, we are here. So who has destroyed others? He said, but have never been destroyed. Say yourself. Say you betrayed others, but you have never been betrayed. Said when you are done destroying, you will be destroyed. And when you are done betraying, you will be betrayed. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, in 1 hour. So it's going to be a period of time, but it's going to be very quickly. When these things go to happen, it's going to be like a domino effect. Before we move forward, let's go here in the Interstellar. Let's look up this here Spoilest. Let's get this right quick for more edification on that Spoilest. Who is this this spoiler, or the one that's constantly spoiling, or Spoilest? Let's see here. It said H7703. Let's go here. See here. Let's open it up. Let's see what it says here.
Strong's H7703. Shaddad.
Shaddad. Let's see what it says here. The biblical online use, it said to deal violently with, said despoil, said devastate. Let's see, it said ruin, destroy, spoil. Let's see what else. Who that sound like? Esau, Edom. You know what I'm saying? It says here, to violently destroy, which in fact is Babylon the Great also, to violently destroy, devastate, once again, it's pretty much saying the same thing. Ruin, to assault. So it's pretty much, to deal very violently. So that's what America has dealt very trustfully, very violently with these other nations. And now it is it's payday. Salaki. And one thing about that, what was done to us is getting ready to be done to them. So it's payday right now. Woe to them, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, which in fact is getting ready to come, the Lord is getting ready to get ready to destroy what Babylon the Great said. Thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So we're at that time where, America, Babylon the Great, Esau, Edom, we know he's saying that this man, he's saying that his days is determined. So he's constantly moving in walk speed. We seeing that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, man. Let's read it once again in NLT. I like the way it reads. It says here, what sorrows await you, Assyrian, the modern day Assyrian, what? It's Esau, Edom, the Americans, the modern day Babylonian, Babylon the Great, hey, man, we're here. He said, who have destroyed others, but have never been destroyed. So America had never, right now, have really seen any type of wars, any type of conflict. The only conflict they had, like I think, a Revolution War. They had the war against the South in the North, but nothing major that's what's getting ready to occur. War that's going to end all. What also we knowing that America will be totally destroyed. This place is getting ready to be a lake of fire. And so let's read it again. It said, but have never been destroyed yourself. Say you betrayed others. That's what they do left and right. Said, but you have never been betrayed. War has not came upon our shore in a long period of time. And one thing about it, they shall burn the whore. So when you are done destroying, so you will be destroyed. Exactly right. So when you are done betraying, you will be betrayed. Yeah, and one thing about it, that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing that these nations are constantly coming into alliance. We're seeing that they're constantly turning their back on America. Even that the ones that were once their allies. They're teaming up with Russia and China. And also, once again, when you read Ezekiel chapter 38, Russia shall be a god to these other nations. So we already know that Russia and North Korea already are teaming up. We already know, and also over there in Israel and Iran, those things are constantly picking up left and right, man. We're here. So now let's go here to let's get this little report here by this off-grid desert foreman. Let's get a little bit of this. He's talking, and he's talking about pretty much the same thing. But let's listen to that a little bit this for edification purpose. Off-grid desert foreman. They have some pretty good videos from time to time. He said, emergency alert. Putin and his military staff and wives have left. Let's see what it said. Left Moscow for the nuclear bunkers. Wow. Let's see what this says. I got a little bit of it. Let's get a little bit of it, and then we'll go back into the lesson. Let's see, can I get it to play?
Hello, everybody. This is Paul from OffGrid Desert Farming News with Paul and Adrian. This is November the 17th, 2024. I have some very bad news, or to some people, it's good news. For Joe Biden, I guess it's good news. I would not wake you up in the middle of the night if this was not important. We do have information. We cannot confirm it, but Hal Turner is reporting that President Putin, all of his military leaders and their wives have now left Moscow for the Ural Mountains to the nuclear bunkers. It does look like that they are ready to launch their nuclear weapons at NATO bases and possibly the United States of America. Folks, we've been warning about this for a long time. I hope it does not happen. I hope this is just fake news. I hope that Hal Turner got it wrong. I hope that the news media is getting this wrong. Maybe it's just a misinterpretation. But if it is not, this could be the last moments and the last hours that some people in the world are going to be alive. Hal Turner has said, my son and I hightailed it from Pennsylvania to New Jersey to pick up my wife and get her out of there, too close to New York City. While we were on the road, I got a call from a source who told me Russian President Vladimir Putin has been in the air from Moscow for about an hour now. Now, this was 3 or 4 hours ago. On his way to the Ural Mountains, where Russia has its nuclear bunkers. Bear in mind that Russia is 8 hours ahead of the United States East Coast. So when I got told this around 7:30 Eastern U.S. time, that made it 3:30 in the morning over in Moscow, Russia. The president of Russia does not board a plane from Moscow to the Ural Mountains at 3:30 in the morning just for a drill. In addition, all of Russia's military top brass and their wives are boarding planes for the Ural Mountains as I type this. They don't take wives on the plane if it's a drill. Earlier, I reported that UK Prime Minister Starmer was on a private jet flying to Brazil. Strange that he didn't use the typical UK military plane. I found out that Joe Biden is hiding out in Brazil as well. So Joe Biden's in Brazil. Kurt Starmer rented a private jet to Brazil. So this is the latest news. Like I said, we cannot confirm it, but I thought it was important enough to bring it to you. That Joe Biden is going to sacrifice millions of lives because he hates Russia and he hates Putin so bad that he's going to sacrifice the lives of millions of people. That crazy old man, the Democrats. So folks, we don't know what's going to happen. I hope this is fake news. I hope I have to come on tomorrow morning, if there is a tomorrow morning, and tell you that story was fake. I hope this is the first time I'm actually hoping that this is fake news. Because if this is true, then Russia is going to do the unthinkable because we forced them to. The United States has declared war on Russia, allowing Ukraine to use long-range weapons. Putin, Sergei Lavrov, the Russian defense minister, they have been screaming from the top of their lungs for over 3 years. Do not provoke us. Do not cross our red lines. Do not test us. And every month, the United States crossed another Russian red line, another Russian red line, another Russian red line. Well, this is the last one, folks. Because I think...
So you seeing right there, when you get around to it, go back and watch that whole news report by OffGrid Desert Farming. So right now, this man, he's saying he's hoping that, this is something fake, but we already know that this is getting ready to go down. A DTA, a Bob, a ball. We're very excited. And one thing about it, he's all seeing that his days are determined. He's always afraid right now. One thing about it, we down with Babylon the Great. So we seeing right there that America is constantly poking the bear. Constantly want to start this war. And one thing about it, they're getting ready to to F around and find out. And one thing about it, the Lord is just getting started. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. We cannot wait. We are so very close to the second coming of our Lord and Savior and our great deliverer, man. We cannot wait. Lord, how long? So now, let's go here to Jeremiah. Let's get a few more. We'll close out, just rolling in the spirit. Jeremiah chapter 51. And let's start up at verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. It said here, it said, flee out of the midst of Babylon, which in fact is America, modern day America. It said, and deliver every man his soul. It said, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her recompense. Or he get ready what? To repay. So it's payday. So how do you flee out of the midst of what? Of Babylon? You know what? Spiritually. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, wisdom and knowledge should be the what? Stability of the time. And one thing about it, you know, we're saying that things could pop off at any given time. And also it was rumors that it was saying that it's not yet been confirmed, but we're at DEFCON 2. So, hey, man, we're not ignorant of Satan's device, man. We are so very close. The Lord is getting ready to repay. The Lord is getting ready to bring forth that judgment. So I should read it once again. It says, in the NLT, it said, flee from Babylon, save yourselves. It said, don't get trapped in her punishment. It said, it is the Lord's time for vengeance. He will repay her in full. So that's what the Lord is getting ready to do. You know, what was done to us is getting ready to be done to them. And the Lord is not going to be playing. And one thing about the Lord said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword. Even though it will sound like a broken record. Once again, we really don't give a damn, because the Lord is going to bring these things to pass. It's nothing we can do. You know what I'm saying? It's just watch the movie out. Watch it play out. The Lord says, stand still. And the Lord is getting ready to show forth his great glory, his great power. And one thing about it, we got to feel out it spiritually and hoping and praying that we be on that fathership when the Lord comes from the east to the west. Amen. Woo, we live in some exciting time. Verse 7, it said, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. It said, that made all the earth drunken. It said, the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So the nations are mad right now. We're seeing it, the heathen array, and also these nations, all of them had America had an influence on all these nations. Everyone wanted to come to Babylon the Great, wanted to come and fornicate with the whores, all the delicacies of the whore. And one thing about it, they seeing now that America is weak. We have a weak leader. We're seeing that they seeing that the nation is divided. A lot of people is fleeing from here. You know what I'm saying? But once upon a time, that Babylon was a golden cup in the Lord's hand. You know what I'm saying? With the glory of the kingdoms. But now it is getting ready to end. The Lord is getting ready to end this nightmare, and we cannot wait. Verse 8, it said, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed, but she will not be. She will never ever rise again. Verse 9 said, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone unto his own country, for her judgment reaches unto the heavens and is lifted up even to the sky. So one thing about it, done reached the Lord. All these sin, the Lord is making inquisition. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created, and the Lord is getting ready to repay. You know what I'm saying? And we cannot wait. It is payday. Someone is getting ready to pay for these crimes. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the times of the Gentiles is almost fulfilled. And one thing about it, we already know we're at the end of this temporal world. You know what I'm saying? And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we just watching it play out right before our eyes. So let's go here to Revelations chapter 11. Let's get 2 out of Revelation, then we'll close out. Revelation chapter 11. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. And it reads that the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly. So we already know about the second woe. Woe goes into destruction, which in fact World War II. Now, the third woe come quickly. So we're seeing it coming very, very quickly. One thing about it, we already know America is constantly, it's constantly instigating, constantly, wanting to bring forth this war, But one thing about it, they're in for a rude awakening. Also, we got to keep our eyes on on Israel, the least of the flock. So we already know that the Lord is getting ready to get it popping. The Lord is getting ready to end this, Hey, man, we cannot wait. So that third woe, which in fact is World War III, the last and final war, right before the Lord, great and glorious return. We are very close to this time. We're very excited. We cannot wait, man. We cannot wait. So now, let's go here. Let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Revelations chapter 6, we close out here, seeing that they're running in these bunkers, we knowing that what the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, because what? He knowing that his time is very short. Let's close out here. And because if this happened, this is exactly all of them going to be fleeing, but one thing about it, a Lord's going to reserve some of them for what? For slavery. So we know that slavery is coming back in a big way. Man, we cannot wait, man. Hey, man. Revelation chapter 6, let me quit rambling. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 14 said, and the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So we at this time, this is what describing a mushroom cloud, or what a thermonuclear exchange, what an explosion. So one thing about it, we're coming upon this time, great devastation, great death and destruction. And what? The body count is getting ready to be great. Things could go nuclear at any given time. One wrong move and the Lord's going to set it off. So verse 15 said, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountain. So we're constantly seeing this, we keep constantly getting reports that they go into these bunkers, they go into these mountain retreats, they go into these underwater retreat. Also, they saying these space stations that they have, but the Lord is going to bring them down. Now everybody's going into the great men, these men of war, these men of politics, also these military men, so they're soldiers, and also their military equipment. All these different things are going to be rolled all up together, all of them, they're going to be running, because the idea about it, is fleeing to these bunkers, because they're going to be seeing the devastation that is coming. When those missiles fly, they're going to do what you call a scat check. And the one that's left on top is going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we know that everyone in America will be destroyed. Everyone that's left on the ground. If you're not getting beamed up, you're getting burnt up. So let's read this once again. In the NLT said, then everyone, the kings of the earth, said the rulers, said the generals, the wealthy, said the powerful, and every slave, said free persons, all hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountain. So we see it right here, the kings of the earth, these global elites, they're going to be what? Like a chase row. Also these generals, these military generals, these soldiers, everyone going to be fleeing. And also when the Lord return, when you read about that in 2 chapter 13, when the Lord, show up, he going to lay everything down, even with the ground. The Lord is unaliving everything. If you're not part of the elect, you're getting ready to be unalive. We constantly warn you left and right. So they're going to be what? Fleeing for the mountain. They're going to be fleeing for these bunkers. But one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to activate his sleeper cell, which in fact are the 144, the prophets. Hey, man, we're here, man. We are very close, man. We're very excited. Verse 16 said, and he said to the mountain, and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. One thing about it, they're going to be very afraid, vexation of the spirit. A lot of people going to be bugged out of their minds, A lot of people going to give up the ghost. Well, hey, they get ready to see. We get ready to see all together, all this unbelief and all this abomination, all these things that are displeasing to Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushua, and all the pride, all the wicked, you get ready to find out who your true power is, and one thing about it, these heathen nations get ready to know their place very soon. And it says here in verse 17, said, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? That's reading the NLT, said, for the great day of their wrath has come, and who is able to survive? It's a little bit going off there. The great day of the Lord, So one thing about it is that, we seeing who going to be able to stand? No one. If you're not part of the elect, you're not going to survive at all. And one thing about it, the Lord is constantly putting the chess pieces together, and And we seeing right now that this place is getting ready to be dealt with it. It's getting ready, hey man, it's getting ready to go down. Let's get one more before we close out. Let's go here to Habakkuk chapter 2. It's something I want to get out of Habakkuk chapter 2. The Spirit want me to go here. Habakkuk chapter 2, let's go here. So the great day of the Lord is fast approaching. Also the Lord is getting ready to shoot these arrows, to the ends of the earth, which in fact are these IBCM missiles. The indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai, in collaboration with that laser and chariot fire. That's why you're seeing all the UFO sites all across the world. This is the curve that go forth across the entire earth. And one thing about it, it's going to be good for the elect. But the 2/3 in the heathen nation, you getting ready to feel the fire. So now, let's go here to Habakkuk chapter 2. We'll close out here. Habakkuk chapter 2. We'll start up at verse let's get a couple of them out of verse. I think it's verse 6. Habakkuk chapter 2. We'll start up at verse, one moment. Let's start up at verse 4. And we'll read down. Let's see. No, I'm in the wrong chapter. Salaki. Habakkuk. I'm in Nahum. Salaki for that. Habakkuk chapter 2. We'll start up at verse, let's start up at verse 5. He said, and we're going to read down, say, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Said, neither keeper at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto himself all people. So that's exactly what he want to do. He want to bring forth this NWO. And one thing about it, we know that he's a proud man. Who is that? Esau, Edom, the modern day so-called white man, the red man of Genesis chapter 25. And one thing about it, everywhere he go, he got these bases set up all across the world, be trying to be the nation police, the nation bully. But one thing about it, we seeing right now, these nations saying that America is weak. They seeing that America has a weak leader. They seeing that, that they seeing that our whole government is constantly crumbling all around us. And also seeing that this proud man, DJ Donald Trump, speaking great words. And one thing about it, he's getting ready to be dealt with. Let's see here, and then death and hell following him everywhere he go. And one thing about it, but he's getting ready to be dealt with very treacherously. Verse 6 he said, and shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay. So that means that, he has a heavy debt, a tremendous debt. And one thing about it, he been, everything that he's doing right now is getting ready to turn upon him. Every hand of the wicked, his allies, his friends, his helpers, all of them is getting ready to turn against him. We seeing this happening left and right. They getting ready to have that taunting proverb, getting ready to mock him. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get ready, look like he's getting ready to look like a little small child running, tucking his tail very soon. Let's read it in the NLT. He said, but soon their captives will taunt them. They will mock them, saying, what sorrow await you, thieves? And which in fact, who is is the thief of the whole entire earth. Esau Edom. He stole every damn thing. He lied about everything. He shed innocent blood, and his day has come. He said, now you will get what you deserve. So you become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on? Not very long. His days are determined. He got bounds that he cannot pass. Verse 7 said, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 7 said, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. And one thing about it, when you go on that word booty, that mean that, like spoils, that word booty goes into the, when they had war back in ancient time, their women's, they called them booties, they had, whatever the best of the crop. They killed the men, kept the women's, and also all their possessions. So that's exactly, right now, America is getting ready to be a booty, but it's getting ready to be a desolation, because once they come in here and tear this place to pieces with these sleeper cells, or with these with these undercover young military men, also UN, Russia, and China, they're gonna come in here and get what they can get, and they're gonna withdraw, and they're gonna drop these nukes. This place is gonna be a lake of fire, but it's all by the design of who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So one thing about it is what's getting ready to happen. They're getting ready to be vexed. They're getting ready to be in a vaccine of the spirit. They're getting ready to be, you know what I'm saying? Very afraid, travailing like a woman with child. Verse 8 said, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and all that dwell therein. So right there is going to be the end of this red devil story. You know what I'm saying? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood. So one thing about it, he got blood on his hand. And one thing about it, since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. So we're very close. He's constantly poking the barrel. What is the barrel? Russia, you know what I'm saying? And Putin is getting ready to get it Get it popping, you know what I'm saying? And we seeing that these nations right now are constantly are raging. We seeing that these nations are rising up, you know what I'm saying? All these nations are get ready to come up against Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So we know that we are very close. We seeing right now that this right here could get things popping very quickly. And one thing about it, that's what we're loaning for. DTA. We ready for this place to be destroyed, because we already know through much tribulation we shall enter the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So right now we got to constantly watch, pray, redeem the time wisely, be circumspect, because right now things could go nuclear at any given time. People can be taken, just a flick of the eye. But we already know that this is getting ready to happen. We knowing that these things are coming upon us. A lot of, we don't have the spirit of fear. We're going to trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. A lot of people still are relaxing in their leave, still talking about these damn wicked holidays, still are getting distracted, still are scoffing and mocking, still don't know who they are, still don't know who their true power is, still don't know who the enemy is. And one thing about it, we're at the end. You know what I'm saying? The end is right before our eyes. The Lord said, I will come like a thief in the night. You better be watching. You better be praying. Also, you better be hoping that you're part of the hopeful elect. The Lord's getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Woe to Thee That Spoilest. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.